Hey, okay, so why am I up in the middle of the night in my pajamas ranting to you? It's because, A, my daughter's woken me up multiple times in the middle of the night for 3 years, and my adrenals are shot, but it's also because I have this message in me to relay to the world for your own freedom. And this is what I write about. This is what I talk about. This is why I do what I do every day, all day long. And I want to talk about misdirected anger. And what the hell am I talking about? We have so much anger at ourselves as a culture, as a people, for being, in particular, overweight and sick and addicted. And I want to just call that out. I want to tell you that it is not your fault if you are feeling that way. I want you to, just for the duration of this video, just open your mind to something really big that may look like it's been in the light right in front of you, but hasn't really been looked at and seen in a way that frees us from these things that are holding us hostage and holding us in slavery. I don't mean that in any disrespect to different kinds of slavery. I want to talk, though, about how we are enslaved in our culture at this point in history in so many different ways, and about how we can free ourselves. So the misdirected anger, I say that it's misdirected not because we could make different choices and we're not. I'm saying it's misdirected because open your mind to how much your life, your children's lives, your grandchildren's lives, you have been inundated, infiltrated with advertising and subliminal messages to get you to be a full card-carrying, believing member of this consumer culture that we are in. And it's this culture that we are enslaved to. It's this culture and these values that are making us sick, killing us, making our children sick, and destroying our world. And this is such an important message. I really want to get it I want to get it across in a way that doesn't sound crazy or just like a rant. I really want people to start looking in their daily life for where this is taking effect and where this is taking your life from you and your freedom, and things that are inherently yours to have just because you exist on this planet are being stolen from you. If you just look at the infiltration, like I said, of advertising, we are, as of several years ago, it may be more now, as of several years ago when I wrote my first book, we are inundated with about 5,000 advertisements per day. And if you are out in the world, if you are watching television, if you have your computer on, and are, watching anything where you're seeing any kind of anything, if you're stepping over ads in the grocery store, you are getting these, your children are getting these messages all the time from birth. We are being told to, in particular, by plastic junk. Our kids are particularly hit with this kind of thing. Toys and junk, we're told to want to consume all of this stuff. That check out the Pacific garbage patch, just for an example of how this is crazy, destroying our world. that's not to mention everything that goes into the production of these like junk toys, for instance, just junk that we don't need. We are also told to eat specific things from specific companies that are making us very sick and killing us. Obesity is an epidemic proportion, and so is every other diet-related illness, which are most of the top 10 killers in our society. They are diet-related, and I want to really emphasize the misdirected anger here. Let's stop blaming ourselves for a moment and look at the influences that are coming in from the very moment we are born, every day, all day long. These people who are creating these campaigns in our consumer culture are studying everything that's known about psychology, everything that's known about group behavior, about social behavior, about personal motivation, about how to make you want something, and then spend your time, your life, your money getting that. They are using every tool that is available to them to subliminally, subconsciously draw you in to buying these foods, buying this junk, participating in this consumer culture of wanting more, that we are becoming blind. We have become blind to what is this doing to our bodies, to the earth, to our culture, to our children. This is so important. It's food that's making us sick, like I was saying, and then it's pharmaceuticals. Someone just told me the other day that 17 out of 24 advertisements on television now are for pharmaceuticals. We know that the pharmaceutical industry is massive, that it's the biggest lobby in Washington. Don't for a second think that these entities are not doing everything within their power to simply sell you their product, to make you sick with the food, and to sell you the remedy, which are their medications that, surprise, are also going to make you sicker and sicker. Not that there's not a place for certain medications or medical procedures. That's absolutely true. But the vast majority of these things, there are better ways to live, people. There are better solutions than these pharmaceuticals that they're offering you. There are better solutions than these prepackaged, chemical-laden, food-like substances that your body doesn't know what to do with, that are making you sick. So they're selling you the problem, the food, and they're selling you the solution, the medication, both of which are in general making us very sick, killing us, and making the world a disaster. For production of a lot of this, they're cutting down rainforests. I know you know a lot of this stuff. Just so people can eat meat. I think 86% of the land that could be used for growing plants and grain, grain is a plant, but plants that could feed the entire world easily, starvation could be wiped out of our reality if people stopped eating meat, because of the resources that are required to produce the meat that people are eating. It is absolutely unsustainable for our planet. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't. All of these things that are happening, like I mentioned, the rainforests being destroyed to graze cattle on, for instance, or to raise food for the cattle and the other animals for people to eat. Those rainforests and those forests, which are now at a very small percentage of what they ever were, a minute percentage. I don't know the numbers, but it's minute. Look into it. Those trees produced an environment that made human beings possible. And when those forests are gone, that environment will also be gone, and we will not be able to survive on this planet. I don't know if that big picture is well known enough for people to actually look at this. And it's not just, an inanimate object that we're eradicating so that we have more space to make these products and foods and medications. We are actually cutting down the source of our oxygen on this planet. We are cutting down and destroying the source of medications that are so effective and so much more effective than the ones that are being created by people. There are so many that obviously have not even been discovered yet, and trees are being eliminated. They are being destroyed forever, never to return with those solutions that we will never know. It's a massive scale, everybody. It's just on a massive scale that should be so angering, because it's not that we have given over our power. It's not that we have given away our power. It's that it has been stolen from us. It has been stolen without your permission, without your knowing. It's been stolen by using your neurology, your biology against you, your psychology against you, for someone else's gain, for money, and for those entities to have more and more increased power so they can take more of your money and your time. And this is where enslavement comes in. If they can sell you the belief that you need all of this to be whatever you think you need to be, because they're telling you you need to be that, because that's the other message that we're getting, that you have to buy all this shit, you have to eat all this shit, and then you have to take all of this shit medication. And then not only on top of that, you have to look a certain way. You have to be a vibrant, alive, healthy, skinny, active person that there is no possible way you can be if you are eating these foods, spending your time in work that doesn't suit you, that doesn't fulfill you, just so you can make the money to buy the shit that you're supposed to buy, to eat the shit that you're supposed to be eating, that they're telling you you're supposed to be eating, and to be buying these medications and paying for the health insurance that you're going to need because you're going to be so unhealthy. There's no possible way you could be this aspirational character they're selling you on television, in movies, in ads, on the internet, everywhere. People, this is massive. Please, let's open our eyes. Let's see the damage that's being done here, the freedom that's being stolen. This should be making us angry, but it shouldn't be making us angry at ourselves. We shouldn't be angry that we're overweight, that we're unhealthy, that we're not anything like these people that we're supposed to compare ourselves to in the movies and in television. I don't even know the extent really of all of what we're being subjected to, because I haven't had a television for decades. You couldn't pay me enough to infiltrate my entire house and my consciousness and my daughter and her life with all of that bullshit that I know is happening. I know that it's really bad and it's at a fever pitch, and that if we don't open our eyes and do differently, be differently, know differently, realize differently, act differently, that we are going to lose everything. We have lost so much already in terms of biodiversity, in terms of vegetation, and like I was mentioning, medications that could be discovered in forests that are now extinct forever. This is fucking serious. We need to be listening. We need to be connecting with our hearts. Okay, here is the solution part. The anger part of the solution is the anger. Let's not direct it inside anymore. Let's not direct it at the victim. Let's direct it outward. But here is the secret. We do not have to go outside and fight all of those entities. And here's why. It's because they have an Achilles heel. And the Achilles heel is the very reason they are causing so much damage. It's money. They are there to make money in this consumer culture that we are in. The Achilles heel for them is that without funding, they cannot exist. They poof, disappear, just like the wicked witch in the Wizard of Oz. You will see smoke and a cloak left, and it will be gone, and your power will be back. And here is how we do it. We do not have to fight them. We need to turn away from them, and we need to stop funding them. And this is not something I'm talking about in a big political way, because we start where we are and that will happen. But here's what we do. We turn off the television. We get rid of the television. We stop allowing ourselves and our children and everyone around us in our household to be programmed with this bullshit about what we should buy, what should matter to us, what we should eat, and medications we should be asking our doctor about. This is insanity, people. It's insanity. Take out the toxins, and one of the toxins are these messages that we're getting all day long, every day. Just turn away from them, turn them off in your children's lives. Stop allowing them to get into our subconscious and to make us want these things that are killing us and our world. Please. So that's a huge one. Stop letting the messages in. Stop using toxins in your home. You don't need toxic cleaning products. Just about anything you need to clean in your home can be done with non-toxic natural ingredients. Look into it. There's so many books about that. There's so many things online about that. Baking soda and vinegar. I've only used those for years. My house is totally fine and clean, and we're really healthy. Stop bringing toxins into your mind. Stop bringing toxins into your home. Stop bringing toxins into your body. Just start eating real food. This is a massive, massive way we can take back the power that's been stolen from us. Food is not what we have been told it is, people, in these times. Food is not a prepackaged, irradiated, boxed, chemicalized, poisoned thing that has no relation to the actual food you think it might be based on. Just start eating real food. Stop eating toxins. Eat organic food. Yes, it might be a little bit more expensive, but this is your freedom. This is your health. You deserve it. Please start investing in yourself, in your body, in your mind. Start eating healthy food. You don't have to eat raw, but please start to eat fruits and vegetables. I guarantee as soon as your body starts to clear out, your mind starts to clear out, these things start to become apparent. It starts becoming really clear to you that the world is upside down and people are clamoring for these things, clamoring for them. This is what these entities have done to us. They have made us ask for, request, demand these things that are conveniences in our lives or that will make us look a certain way. or be able to make more money. Please, people, look at your values. Look at what is important to you. Look at what is important to you for your children. Please make choices that are healthy, that are life-centric, that allow us to work in concert with each other and with the environment and with other species so that we can all survive. We need each other. And here is the biggest, there are so many little areas we can go into. I know food really well, or I know it well enough to see what's going on. And so I tend to focus on food. That's why I spend my very little precious time that I have away from parenting my daughter, which is where I want to spend most of the time, because I am teaching her in every moment all of these things, to be awake, to not be enslaved to these entities that are ruining the world and ruining our psyches and ruining our lives and taking our freedom. This woman that my daughter is going to become is going to be awake and alive, and she is not going to have all these toxins in her body that we have. She's not going to be eating food that's going to be numbing her mind. She's not going to be buying into all this consumer bullshit that is taking away her freedom from connecting with herself. And that is the next big point, that the biggest point here is that we need to connect with our hearts. All of these things that we can do that are removing toxins from our consciousness, from our physical systems, from our lives, anything you can do to call that out and research that and really wake up to what we've become indoctrinated to. Removing all of that will be supportive. It's all going to build. It's all going to build. You start with not going to McDonald's, which you have been conditioned from childhood, from infanthood, to want. There are addictive chemicals in there for your body to keep asking for that. Children recognize the McDonald's symbol before they learn to read. The characters that they're inventing, and I'm not just targeting McDonald's, this is any kind of anything that your children are marketed to, and that you're marketed to. This is from infancy. This is planned. This is, you've been lied to. You should be angry. You've been lied to. You've been deceived for money, for other people's benefit, at the expense of your health, your freedom, and the world. The expense of the environment. You should be angry. You should be angry that these things have been taken from you, that what's already been taken from you is gone, that these trees, these species, your environment has been dramatically affected without your permission. We should be angry about this, but not at ourselves. We should be turning away. We should be taking these steps that I'm suggesting. Please, at least just think about it. Please, just thinking about it. Think about it. And this is what I was saying. This is why I'm spending the time that I'm not spending, the precious time I'm spending with my daughter, taking a little bit of time out of that time to write, to do videos, to spread this message of freedom that could be ours, that we could be taking back, and ways to do that. And my videos are not just little videos about how to make your own nut milk. It's because making your own nut milk is a tool and an arsenal that you need to combat what's coming at you every single day, that's taking from you what is inherently yours. It's inherently yours. And to get back to the biggest point, it's connecting with your own heart, and all of these little things that you can do to detoxify your system and your mind and your world, your home. All of these things will support you in connecting to your heart and finding what is true for you. And as soon as we get enough people to reconnect individually with their own hearts, we start working together. We start doing things that are supportive of each other. We start seeing through the deception and the lies of this culture that's been created. And do you know what we could have? We could be free. We could really be free again. You could be healthy. You could be happy. Your brain chemistry could be such that you are not stressed all the time, that you don't think you need to be A, B, or C to be happy or healthy. You don't need to have this product. You don't need to look a certain way. You could actually be present, enjoy your life, enjoy your children, and breathe healthy air, have healthy food, have your body working the way it's supposed to be working. I feel like you're probably getting the picture. Thank you if you've made it all the way to the end of this. Please just start taking those little simple steps to reconnect with your soul in whatever way it calls to you, and to call out this crazy, crazy stuff that's happening in the world right now and is at a really, like I said, a fever pitch. We need our hearts. We need to be connected with our hearts. We need to teach our children to be connected to their hearts so they can lead us into a future that is about freedom and love and diversity. Please stand up with me. Thank you for listening.